Okay, I'm gonna do it in the other, on the other TV.
here. Oh, I know I do that after every time because they're all so good. And you only hear, okay, Adam, you're sitting with a seller. You just had a fantastic conversation. They loved everything that you said about the price of the house. They loved what you said about getting the house ready. They think the commission that you're offering is amazingly fair, and they think that you're an amazingly trustworthy person. But here's the problem. We want to sell. We're in with you, but there's nothing on the market, so we don't know where we're going to move. I guess we're going to pump the brakes. Adam, you got a minute on the clock. What do you tell me?
You know, Jason, that's a wonderful question, and I really appreciate that. So it sounds to me like your main concern is that you don't want to end up homeless. Is that correct?
Yes, that had occurred to me.
Okay, perfect. Well, when you hire me, there's three things that my team and I do very well. Number one is we protect your contingencies. So the first contingency that you have is a seller contingency, meaning that the seller needs to find a replacement property in order for the sale to take place. So you're not obligated to sell. Number two is that we're very proactive, meaning that we're going to search our network to find you a property off market, and we're actively going to find you a home. And the third thing is that we have a team that's committed to finding your home. Because when you hire myself and my team, you have 5 agents who are committed to finding your dream home. So what's the best time for us to put a sign in the yard? Tomorrow afternoon or Friday morning?
Boom! Get the sign in the yard. I love it. I love the way you close that, too. So many real estate agents forget the value of a sign in the yard. You try to go get permission to put a billboard up in your town, USA, and then realize how hard it is, and then tell me that you don't value putting a sign in somebody's yard. Adam, I love it. Well done. Aubrey, we're coming to you. Look, love everything you said. Love the price. Love the service. Love the rate. Think that you're a trustworthy person. But the truth is, we don't know if we can sell because there's nothing on the market. Aubrey, we don't know where we'd move.
Jason, I appreciate you bringing that up, man. And that's honestly one of the most common concerns we're getting from families right now, like yours, who are considering making a move. And Jason, I'm curious, other than having the security and the peace of mind of knowing you have a place to move to, is there anything else that would keep you from selling your house right now?
No, we don't want to move somewhere we don't like, and there's not enough stuff.
Got it. Wonderful. Well, I have some good news for you. Our team has 6 unique ways that we're finding off-market deals right now, such that you can go out and find the home that's right for you. And even better news, we have access to 2 programs that allow us, Jason, to take our time finding the right house first and then put your house up in the market. And the biggest concern is I don't want double payments and I need the equity out of my home. It takes care of both of those. Jason, if we were able to find the right home now, the one you and your family want, would you list your home with me today?
I would.
Let's do it. Sign here.
There it is. Sign here on the line that is dotted. Fantastic answers from both of y'all. Now, at home, you get to choose. You had 3 points with Adam. You had 6 points with Aubrey. Is 6 more confusing than 3? I don't know the answer to any of these things. You guys get to choose. The voting is now open. All right. Adam, what is this dad-proof Father's Day card thing that you created? What did you make here? Because I need all the help I can get.
I created a little card that essentially, fathers can be a little forgetful of dates. And so I just wanted something a little cheeky to get in front of my people, and mainly for the wives to fill out. I had a lot of feedback that the wives told me they filled it out for them so they wouldn't forget, and they put it in an important place. So I just wanted another touch that was fun for my SOI.
Okay, so walk me through this thing. You figured out all of the important dates that a quote-unquote dad or father, whatever, wouldn't forget, and then you put them onto this card that is unique to them, and then laminated it, and then you sent it out to those people. There it is. You got the spouse's birth date, the kids, the anniversary, the bonus dates. I think this is so creative. I love this touch. So you sent this out to the SOI. Did you get good feedback?
Yeah. A lot of people loved it. I put it on social media, got a lot of people who opted in for it as well. So I got to grow my database and then just have another fun way to contact and reach out to my SOI.
I love that. Very cool. Aubrey, I know that all these dates are important to you because you're in a household with 2 blonde daughters and a blonde wife. You're in the house of blonde. I get this. What are you doing right now for your SOI that's amazingly creative? What is the important touch right now that's out of the box?
Great question, Jason. Didn't prepare me for that one, so put me on the line here. what I'm seeing that's working really, really well right now is honestly being more human more often. We've heard that before, right? And actually showing up. We can't count on mailers and emails. We need to show up. So we're doing a lot of client event parties, COVID-friendly outside. We did an axe throwing event not too long ago. Got another couple of events coming up soon. Is giving them a reason to get in front of us, because the top of the communication pyramid is face-to-face, belly-to-belly. Let's get there more often.
I love it. I think it makes all the sense in the world. Both of those touches are great. Everybody's wording and the way that you did the conversations were fantastic. The audience votes. And by the way, we have a special twist happening this time around. If you've been eliminated at all, you may be surprised, because we have a trick up our sleeve, and it's all about bringing you back when you absolutely least expect it. And if that isn't the cliffhanger of the day, then I don't know what is. But Aubrey, you're moving on. I'm seeing you in the next round. Adam, my friend, you did fantastic. Don't lose the faith. Aubrey, get some Gatorade and start stretching. We're coming back to you shortly. All right, that's 2 rounds in the books. Now let's talk about what we just heard. That's a really common objection. I want to sell, but I don't know where I'm going to go. And this begs the question, what's the best way to not just handle the objection, because they were Jedi at that, but what's the best way to get ahead of the problem? And the truth of the matter is it's an accurate stat that we have more licensed real estate agents today than active listings that are on the market. That's amazingly unique. But if that didn't scare you, maybe this one will. You also have more people in real estate school today than you have real estate agents walking the United States. And you're going to go, wait a minute, that can't be true. We have 1.5 million agents. It's actually true. Now, keep in mind, not all of them are going to matriculate all the way through the course and get the license. But the truth is that more time working from home has enabled more people to take online real estate courses. You also have an amazing amount of people walking around right now that are reporting that they feel underemployed. Nothing better if you feel underemployed than become a real estate agent. We do away with things like a steady paycheck. People love it. No, I'm kidding. But here's the thing. We're in the greatest industry with low barrier to entries for people to get in and live this amazingly full life. So how do you get ahead of the listing inventory issue that you have right now? Here's step number 1. You need to be having conversations with people and letting them know what their home is worth. 60+% of the U.S. populace that lives in home reports not knowing exactly what it's worth. Now, directionally, they say it's worth more. But by the way, that doesn't help anyone. They need the unique insight, which is your home is worth this, this is what you owe, this is the check you'll get at closing. Why is it so important that you be the deliverer of that information? Because in that moment, you are a fiduciary. This market will change, they all do. And the first people off the fence will be the ones that have been armed with the best education on the economic circumstance that relates to their family given to them by their real estate agent. Friends, make the choice today. You're either a realtor or you're their realtor. All right, we're going to the next round. We got Dave, we got Bob. It is going to be a barn burner, and away we go. All right, gentlemen. Dave, how are you, sir?
Things are great today. Thanks.
Good to have you. Bob, that is a heck of a background. You must be on location in the Maldives, is it?
No, it's actually the Cliffs of Moher in the western part of Ireland.
There it is. I love that. Fantastic. He's in Ireland. Dave, where are you hailing from today?
I'm in Asheville, North Carolina.
Fantastic. All right. Dave, do me a favor. Call this in the air. Heads or tails?
Tails.
And heads it was. I'm sorry about that. That means, Bob, you get to say here, would you like to tee off since you're in Ireland? I'll use the prowess there. Or would you like to listen?
I would love to tee off. Head up, swing hard.
Bob, so we're coming right to you with this objection. Here we go. I'm digging in. This is an interesting one, Bob. So this came, by the way, we crowdsourced all of these that you're hearing today from some of the different Facebook groups. If you're not in the Pivot Shift Facebook group, please get in there. There's a ton of great content. James Shaw and his team are doing an amazing job there. Okay, this is a buyer, Bob. And what they're saying is, I don't know where I want my child to go to school yet. We need to wait for a kid to get older before we can figure out where to buy. Is this one you've heard before? My friend, you have a minute on the clock. How do you answer that?
That's a great question. Let me ask you this. Do you have an idea where you want to be?
Less of an idea. We know areas that we like, but we're just not set on school systems yet. We're afraid that things will change over the next 2 or 3 years, and we have a real little one.
Right. Have you done any research to find the best schools in the area?
Well, we've looked at a ton of stuff online, but we don't know what to believe and what not. It seems like everyone has an opinion.
Absolutely. What if we could find you the best schools in the best areas for you and your family right now?
I think that would be great. What might that look like?
Well, that's exactly why we should get together and meet, because I have some resources that will help you identify the best schools in the best areas so you can get into those areas before your kids are even of age to go to those schools and start building friendships and relationships with the families in those areas. Does that make sense?
That makes sense to me.
Great. Let's get together.
Boom! Stop it. Exactly a minute. I love that, by the way. Start building the relationship prior than actually starting at school. Very good. All right, Dave, I'm coming to you. There's a ton of schools. We don't know them. We're afraid that they might change over time. Our little one isn't even old enough to get in. We think we should probably pump the brakes and just stay renting.
Yeah, so renting right now is certainly a viable option. And I commend you on wanting to get your kids into the best school. I have 3 myself and know how important that is. One of the things I would say is that, generally speaking, you might agree with this, that the good schools also are in areas of appreciating home values. Would you agree with that?
I don't know enough about it, but if you say so.
Yeah, well, people that have an affinity to get their kids into good schools obviously care about that and care about the neighborhood. So therefore, the values we generally see will appreciate. What I'd hate to see you do is miss that appreciation. So in the event that we do see that appreciation and you are still in a house and home values have gone up, you may miss the opportunity to get your kid in the school that makes most sense for them.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I love it. All right, stop the clock. That's exactly right. Both people created the idea. You went about it 2 different ways. One of them was about relationships. The other one was about economic value. Both absolutely masterful. I love it. All right, everybody, go vote right now. Cool. So, Dave, how long have you been with KW?
4 years.
And when you graduated from West Virginia University, what was the degree in?
In business management.
Okay, so do you think that the degree that you had in business management helped prepare you for a life of a residential real estate agent?
Probably not as well as a lot of the trainings that I attend and my coaching.
Well,
But
so
yeah,
this is
to
so
some
I ask
degree.
this question all the time to everybody that went to either grad school or undergrad, and then I say, okay, now you're a realtor. We have a lot of folks within our ecosystem that didn't necessarily graduate with an extra degree, right? And we're trying to tell the story of why being an educationally based company is so important. Talk a little bit about the course that changed your life the most here at KW.
Yeah, in terms of the course, BOLD obviously changed my life and put me outside of the comfort zone and kind of misspelling some disbeliefs and things like that. But also having Wally Malesh as my mastery coach has been incredible because it's weekly accountability. It's weekly, struggles, things I'm struggling with. I can throw it out there to him and it's just super helpful.
I love that. Thanks. Hey, Bob, tell me a little bit right now in your business. What's the one thing that matters most? If you're waking up every day, what are you thinking about right now?
Making contacts, building relationships, and finding listings. That's the most important thing right now. I mean, I'm actually in Southern California in an area called the South Bay, not Ireland. However, yeah, the inventory here, like everywhere, is ridiculously low. And so what can I do to go find business? I wake up every day unemployed, and it's my responsibility to get out there and make sure I'm employed.
I love that. And you're from Northern California, you said?
Southern California. Southern
So why
California.
do you go all the way to New Orleans to get engaged? What did I miss?
You saw that. Because New Orleans is New Orleans. My now wife and I love New Orleans, and the Commander's Palace, that restaurant in New Orleans, is legendary. It was amazing. So yeah, and we love to travel. So and we were in Ireland a little while back.
Fantastic. I love it. Hey, you guys, thank you so much. The voting is in. But this was actually the closest one that we've had yet today. You guys were right there. This was decided by less than 5 votes. Bob, you're moving on. Dave, thank you so much for the time. Bob, we're going to see you in the next round. Hang out, everybody. Now we're getting into it. All right, so this idea of the school districts and how those things are changing, it's one of the classic questions. You know, the National Association of Realtors does polls every year with the consumer, and they say, well, what was it about this area, or what was it you wanted your real estate to know? And here's what we learn. Number one, they want trust out of their agent. It's the number one thing they want. Now, the way that they define trust changes on where they are in their life's journey, meaning if schools are really important to them, your institutional knowledge about them is how you build trust. Let me just tell you this. If golf is really important to them, our president here, Mark King, he can't buy a house unless he knows exactly which golf courses are around it. That's important to him, meaning you better know something about that. And you look up and say, wait a second, Jason, how can I know about the schools and the golf and the thing and this over? I totally get that. This is one of the reasons it's so important to maybe not have all the answers, but know all the people. Remember, the best leaders are the ones that know what they know what they don't know, and then know the people that know the things that they don't know. So if you have someone come to an area who says, well, I want to learn more about the school, you better know who you're going to send them to. Remember, curating conversations is as valuable as being the one that's hosting the conversation. The supermajority of sales doesn't happen at the end of the process. It happens during the framing of the process. So one of the things that you may want to get into the habit of doing at the beginning of a relationship is simply reiterating the definition of a professional. Gary Keller tells the story all the time. He said, my name is Gary Keller and I'm a professional. Now what that means is I know what I know, I know what I don't know, and I'll find the answers for you for the things that I'm not clear on. That was the line that he used that led to 24 homes sold in his first year, making him the Rookie of the Year. By the way, I think that conversation still works, and it works well. We have one round left in the first round, then we're going to the semis, then we're going to the finals, then we're going to see who's meeting Cody Gibson. All right, Ron and JD, we're coming your way now. Ron, how are you, sir?
Fantastic. How about you?
I'm great. Thanks for being here. JD, how you doing, my friend?
Too blessed to be stressed.
Too blessed to be stressed. Print it. I love that. JD, I'm coming to you. Heads or tails?
Tails.
And heads it was. This is amazing. I don't know that we've ever had this many loses on a corn flip. This is crazy. Ron, you want to go first or you want to listen?
I'll listen. He's
listening. JD, I'm coming to you. Here we go. And this is, this is a buyer. Buyer is saying to you, look, JD, I'm never going to be able to get a house. It's way too competitive. I don't want to play the Royal Rumble where realtors are throwing each other off the top rope and there's 38 people at an open house. I don't want to enter a market that's absolutely insane because I don't want to be in a bidding war. What am I supposed to do?
Okay, great. I'm sorry, Jason, could you say that objection one more time? Which one was it?
I'm afraid that it's way too competitive right now, and I'm better off not buying because of it.
Okay, so Jason, what I think I hear you saying is that you haven't met with an agent yet that's going to lay out a strategy for you on how we're getting buyers into homes today. Allow me to meet with you today, and I'd be more than happy to show you how we got our last 3 buyers into homes for the prices that they want and the time that they wanted, and with as little stress possible. Does that work for you?
Yeah, I love that. I'm going to give that. Break script. Here's what I kind of dig about that. You allude to the fact that you have an answer, but you didn't quite tell me what the answer was. You just want to get in front of me and start building a relationship and then arm me. JD, do I have that strategy right?
That's correct. Let's meet, and then I'll go over all the, the gold and the valuable information that I have.
I dig it. All right, stop the clock. I like it. Ron, I'm coming to you. I'm a buyer, and I'm terrified that no matter where I go, there's going to be 31 other buyers, and it's way too competitive, and I'm not going to ever get a house.
Right. Jason, you're absolutely right. In fact, the odds are really good that we're going to have to fight to the death to get you the perfect home. That's kind of the market we're in right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Do you want to have a team work with you, help you find the best home for the money, get you an incredible interest rate, save you money on all the expenses and get into a home right now? Or do you want to wait 12 to 24 months for things to slow down, prices to go up, interest rates to go up? I mean, why don't we just get it done right now? come in, sit down, meet with our team. We'll show you how we're winning for our clients time and time again, and we'll get you the perfect home and get you moved now instead of having to wait. How does that
Boom.
sound?
Break script. Stop the clock. I'm coming in for the visit, Ron. I love it. That's fantastic. Guys, both great answers. They both went a similar direction, but got there in a very different way. It's up to you now to choose. Who did you like hearing it from? Go vote now. Ron, you have a phone charger in your car where you insert it like a tape deck? Is this what I'm being told?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
All right, so I have a producer that helps me with this. You don't have any sort of strange charging system for your cell phone in your car. Is that your position here today in front of Keller Williams and the entire world?
I hate to undermine your research and strategy, and I know you guys are better than the CIA. I do have an incredible phone charger in my car that my son gave me for Father's Day last year, who works year after year after year to come up with something that I would actually appreciate, knowing there's pretty much nothing in the world he can buy me that I really want that I don't already have for myself. So you would like my phone charger, but it's just a phone charger.
Oh, you know what? The fact that your son gave it to you, it's good enough for us. We love the story. Real estate agents know phone chargers. If there's one thing we know, it's charging phones. So we love it. JD, how do you get on House Hunters? Like, if you, because every agent wants to be on TV, and there's only a handful of us. Some of you have seen it, Scoring the Deal, available on Hulu. You can watch it. So there's only a handful of us that get to be. JD, how did you get on House Hunters?
You know, be authentic, be yourself, be a student of the game, master your craft, serve others, and do your best. You know, follow the Keller Williams model. Take what they teach us and do it, and you'll get recognized.
Yeah, I love that. But how do you really get on House Hunters? Like, if I'm sitting at home right now and I'm like, what did you actually do? Did they call you? Did you call them? Do I just go sit outside of Scripps Network? How do you get on?
You do both. You know, if they call you, great. If not, then, you know, you knock on that door till someone opens.
Fantastic. That's a call to arms to all Keller Williams agents that want to be on TV. Call HGTV right now and demand it. You get to decide who's on House Hunters. I love it. Very good. You guys, the voting is in. You both absolutely did awesome. Ron, you're advancing. JD, don't go away because we have something cool coming up. Ron's moving on. We'll see you in the semis against Bob.
Yeah.
Get ready, my friend.
I don't know where they got HGTV from.
All right, now we have the first round in the books. This thing is shaping up, and it is coming into quite the barn burner. We got Elizabeth going up against Aubrey in the semifinals. Now, I just want to take us back to what we just learned, because this is really important. This idea, by the way, that the buyer feels anxiety about getting into confrontation with other buyers is real. And I want to just explain this idea of emotions and how it ties into sales. Remember, the number one thing that dictates people's actions on a regular basis is fear. Now, you can talk about all of the other emotions you would like, but fear is by far the strongest determinant and motivator to how people are going to behave. So when a buyer comes into a situation with fear as opposed to excitement, let me just tell you, the framing is wrong from Jump Street. Buying a house, buying the most expensive liquid asset that people are going to have, something that you may only do 3, 4, 5 times in your life, it shouldn't be fear from the start, although it is far too often. Remember, the psychology of the third party, one of the reasons we're there as fiduciary is to remind the buyer that this is supposed to be fun. You only get to do this a few times. And so, yeah, the process may take a little bit longer than you thought it might. Or, yeah, it might take us a little far longer to find the dream house. But here's what I know. I know that everybody's dream house eventually hits the MLS. And if it doesn't hit the MLS, then they run into the right real estate agent that brings them to the right builder that finds the right piece of land so that they can build it. Mo Anderson wrote a book, and in her book, she talks about the home that she spent 74 years of her life dreaming about before her and her husband moved into it. They built what she calls a sanctuary of stone that moves all those who step within. I want you to just think about those words for a second, and then I want you to ask the question, what's the other item that somebody buys during their life journey that they would explain that way? Think of sanctuary and stone that moves all those that walk within. You don't get that when you make a decision like where to go eat at night, unless it's absolutely amazing, which it isn't. You don't get that with your car. You get that only with the places we live, because no one goes home at night and curls up with their stock and bond portfolio, but they do in the house that they live in. Now, yes, we are all in the transaction business. And yes, we often give awards based on volume and number of units. But let us never forget as an industry that these units represent dreams. The real dreams of the people that we're lucky enough to get to serve. Friends, run towards that, not away from it, and turn that fear into excitement. That's what fiduciaries do. All right, we're going back. We got Aubrey, we got Elizabeth, Jedi going up against each other. And here we go. All right, you two, I'm not going to explain the rules. You already know it. Elizabeth, I'm coming to you. Heads or tails?
Heads.
Tails it is. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, Aubrey, that means that you have to make a choice. Now, at this point, every decision you make is absolutely pinnacle, and you're literally deciding on how you'll be remembered by the entire ecosystem for the rest of your life. There's a lot at stake. Would you like to go first, or would you like to listen?
I would like to give the opportunity to Elizabeth. Ladies first, please have at it.
He is a giver, Elizabeth. He always has been. It's one of his things. Okay, I'm opening up this question here. Oh, by the way, this is a short one, but it's classic. Elizabeth, the prices are crazy. It's too expensive right now. I'm waiting for things to crash.
You know, Jason, I can totally appreciate that. And let me explain to you the real expense of buying a home. You may pay 1 or 2% more right now to secure the home you want and get under contract. But with historically low interest rates that you need to take advantage of, you are going to save thousands over the life of that loan. These are once in a lifetime interest rates. So we need to do the right thing. We need to get you with Keller Mortgage, get you a no cost mortgage and loan approval, and help you take advantage of this, because you're only going to pay that sales price one time, but you're going to pay that mortgage for the next 30 years.
Boom! Wrap it, count it. Fantastic answer. I really love it. Aubrey, you got your work cut out for you, but you are up to the challenge. Here's the concern. I want to buy, but it's just too expensive right now. I'm going to overpay. I'm going to wait for this thing to crash. What do you tell me?
Man, Jason, I appreciate you being open with me, and that's the kind of relationship I would like us to have together. And you're right, demand is absolutely pushing prices higher and higher right now. Buying a home is one of the biggest financial decisions of your life. And Jason, it's important to me that you make the best decision possible. Jason, may I share a concern with you?
Sure.
Great. Rates are at an all-time low and prices are climbing literally every single day. And that's exactly why it's important to find a great home right now before the one you want becomes too expensive and out of reach. Because here's the truth, Jason. We're going to have to pay to live somewhere, whether that's renting or owning. And in this area, it costs more to rent than it does to buy. And the last thing I want you to do is to wait and miss out on this opportunity. So listen, let's do the right thing. Let's not miss the boat, and let's go ahead and purchase a property. You ready to get started?
There it is. Break script. Call it. I love it. Fantastic. That's why they call it Clash of the Closers. It's really, really good. All right, you guys. I told you this was going to get harder as we go. It does so every single season. Good luck on choosing here. The voting is now open. All right, gang. Now you get to take a deep breath. It's all good. It's all in the books. You can't influence it now. You just get to wait and hear. Aubrey, I want to stay with you for a second on this idea of rates and what it does to people's payments. I ran an illustration yesterday on a $100,000 home. And I took that and I figured $10,000 down gives you a $90,000 principal balance. Then I figured that out at 9.9%, just for fun, to remind myself what it was like when I got into the real estate business. And what I found out, $761. Meaning that even at 9.9%, it's still better to own than to rent, because the rental payment on that house right now is like $1,100. The truth of it is, with rates this low, it's really hard to make an argument for renting, Aubrey.
It is, very. And when you lay it out for someone like that, the only option is to buy. It's the most sensible option.
100%. Elizabeth, when did you get into the real estate business?
1996.
Okay, 96. So I was in middle school. I'm kidding. No, 96. 7, 8. No. I was in high school. And rates, when you got in on a 30-year, were what?
Double digit. So we were just coming out of double digit rates.
So don't you find that you're like screaming from the rooftop to try to get people to understand? I just got quoted at Keller Mortgage a refi at 2.75 on a 30-year.
Exactly. I mean, this is free money, guys. I mean, think about it. You're going to pay less for your mortgage than you're paying for credit cards, your car loan, anything else. You've got to take advantage of these.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. You guys, this was so close, and I hate having to pick winners, but I don't. That's why we have voting. So here's what I can tell you. Elizabeth, you did fantastic. Stick around. Aubrey, you're moving on to the finals. We're going to be coming back to you guys shortly. But again, we have a cliffhanger coming on all of our folks that are being eliminated. Stick with us. It's coming for you. All right, now we're coming down to it. We have Bob and Ron going off next, and then we will find out who will be in the finals. Now, I want to have a conversation with you seriously, and I want to talk to you. If you are a real estate agent right now and you do not own your home, I want to implore you right now, hear the words that I'm about to tell you. We really need you to go out and buy a house. Here's what we know. We know that real estate professionals, and all people, by the way, but specifically real estate professionals, you have the inside track. You spend all day helping other people buy and sell real estate. Owning a home is the cornerstone to building wealth. And we know that the difference between the people that own homes and the people that rent homes, in the end, it's like this when it comes to the whether or not the home was a wealth determinant. Meaning, please, you have to be able to say that you know what it's like to actually go through the home buying process because you have been a homeowner. And if you are a real estate agent and you do own a home and you haven't refinanced lately, please wake up, call Keller Mortgage and find out what the rate you can get is because they are historically low. And when I say historic, I don't mean just like in recent. I mean like in the history of ever. Like, it's absolutely absurd how low these rates are. Please, 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 if you haven't bought a home, buy it. If you're in a home, try to refi it. And if you own one already, go look for a piece of investment property because real estate agents have the inside track. That would be akin to owning a used car lot and paying retail for everything. Friends, if you own the lot, you don't pay retail. All right, Bob and Ron, I'm coming to you. Here we go,
Put me up against my hero. Come on.
It's come down to this. All right, Ron, heads or tails?
Tails.
It is tails. I knew it would happen on a long enough timeline. Okay, do you want to listen first or would you like to go first?
Bob has golden pipes, so I'd like to hear him speak first.
We would all. Bob and the golden pipes. We want to hear it. Bob, I like you. I'm a seller. You seem like a great guy. I think we can do business with each other. But here's the deal. The market is so competitive right now, I know I can go hire someone else. Heck, I think I might even be able to put a sign in front and do it myself. But I want to hire a realtor, but I know I can go hire one that's willing to take less commission. So I need you to lower your commission for me, and then we can do business.
Absolutely. You know, I don't blame you one bit for that, Jason. I know you want to net the most money that you possibly can, correct?
Correct.
Absolutely. And that's my job as a professional. And you know what? I really love a Costco hot dog every now and then. $1.95, you get a Polish sausage and a soda. It's awesome. It's delicious. It's great, isn't it?
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you, though, when it comes to selling your most important asset, do you want a filet mignon that's going to negotiate on your behalf and get you the best deal? Or do you want a Costco hot dog that's just kind of willing to give it away? What's going to work better for you?
I hear that. I want the filet.
Absolutely. That's why I want you to sign here, press hard.
Fantastic. Press hard. Sign on the line that is dotted. That's fantastic. I do want to make a confession. I really do like a Costco hot dog with a Diet Coke. I think their fountain drinks are phenomenal. Anyway, Ron.
Everybody does. Come on.
I can't even help myself. All right,
No.
Ron, I'm coming to you. Look, I love everything that you said. I love your plan. I love your marketing. I just know that I can get this done cheaper. And if you come down on commission, we can do business.
Sure. You know, Jason, can I just share something with you?
Please.
This is the worst time in the history of the real estate business to go with a discounter or to even think about trying to sell your home on your own. Can I tell you why?
I'd love to hear this.
Great. Right now, our team is squeezing every last penny out of the market for our sellers. Some of our sellers are getting 4%, 7%, 9%, not more than their asking price, than more than the average that other agents are getting right now. So you might save 1 or 2% going with a discount broker. And at that same time, you're probably losing 5 to 8% by not having a powerful team like ours working on your behalf. So what's more important, saving 1 or 2% or having a great team like ours go to work for you and fighting to win you the battle in this market?
I love it. There it is. Break it. And now you vote on it. It's fantastic. Both fantastic answers. I can't stop thinking about a Costco hot dog. It's awful. Trisha, you need one of those. Okay, go vote now. All right, Ron, talk about always knowing the right things to say, both of you guys. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you became an expert in the words that you're using? If I'm an agent and I'm watching right now and I'm feeling a gap between the way you're answering and the way that I would have answered, how do I start to bridge that gap?
For me, what happened is I got very purposeful about it. You know, someone taught me to go lead generate. I'd go door knock or I'd do whatever. I'd get in front of someone and then I'd blow it. And I thought, this is nuts. Like I did all the work and then I'm not saying the right thing and I'm not winning. So I just got very hardcore about watching the top people, seeing what they say. You know, it of course intensified once I joined KW. But even before that, I just was like, okay, there's guys selling 150 houses a year. I'm selling 30. What's the difference? And it's what they said when they got in front of people. I became real purposeful. I memorized, rehearsed, internalized. I just pounded the scripts. And then I'll tell you one other thing, Jason. You know, we did a thing. There was 4 of us that called 100 people a day for 9 months. Long before Bold, like way back in the old days. And if you think you want to get good at scripts, go talk to 12,000 people in 1 year. You'll be able to tell by the way they're breathing where they're going and what they're thinking.
I love that. And by the way, if you are going to be doing something like that, please do it in a TCPA-friendly, compliant way. We follow all the rules at Keller Williams, and we'd like you to as well. So, Bob, how did you get so good at this? Do you just wake up and just know how to do it?
Heck no. When I first started out, I was butchering it, making a mess of things. And of course, with Keller Williams, scripts are available. Bold in particular really helped me refine my script. And like Ron said, time on task over time. You say it enough times, you get great at it. And there are 5 things people can say, and I know how to handle all 5 of them. They're not going to come out of left field with something that Ron and I have never heard before. And we know how to get them down the path in the direction that we want to get them. People ask me a lot of times, hey, can you send me your scripts? Sorry, they're up here. They're internalized. And so they just roll off my tongue like water. And that took a few years to get there. So it's not going to happen day one.
I love that. And that's the whole idea here. Remember, y'all, at Keller Williams, we don't talk in terms of scripts. We talk in terms of conversations. And the reason is because you need to internalize them. You need to make them your own. And one of the things that makes both of these gentlemen so good at this is you hear it in their authentic voice. And you know why? It's because they truly believe in the things that they're saying. I love it. Both you guys, thank you so much for everything you're doing for KW. Ron, you're moving on. I don't even have a cliffhanger on this. The voting was great. Bob, you did awesome. But Ron, you're moving on. Get ready because you're going to be meeting Aubrey in the finals.
Good job, Ron. You're awesome.
All right, so we got Aubrey. We got Ron. This is going to be a tremendous final. And just to set the stage again, remember Cody Gibson is waiting at Mega Camp on the stage. You all, there's an important distinction here to make. We have to talk about this idea of conversation. Remember, conversations are different than scripts. Scripts dictate that this is how you would answer and these are the words you would say. Conversations dictate that you actually begin with active listening. There's no way to have a conversation unless you are practicing active listening. The first is seeking to understand. Once we know what somebody wants to accomplish, then we know the right words to say. Now it has come to this. You've been with me for the last 47 minutes, and we have come down now to the final 2. And remember, there can be only one. Both complete experts, titans, closers in their own right. And now you will decide. Aubrey and Ron will be ever remembered by how they perform over the next minute and a half. This will be the thing that they are either talked about and celebrated or ridiculed. The tension couldn't be higher. Okay, friends, we're about to go. Follow me as we watch the finals. All right, gentlemen, you know the stakes. It is not an over-exaggeration to say that everything you've done up to this point in your life is second to what's about to happen, regardless of the scale of the accomplishment. Now, Ron, I would like you to call heads or tails.
Heads.
Heads. It's actually tails, which is amazing how many people lost on that. That's incredible to me. Aubrey, that means, and you're just continuing the streak, you're the luckiest person I've ever met. Do you want to go first, or would you like to listen?
Ron is a great guy, and I really think he's earned the right to go first. So, Ron, after you, my friend.
He does that, Ron. He gives to everybody in that regard.
He's
It's really
so giving, it's
unbelievable.
ridiculous.
Okay, this is a seller, by the way, and the seller owns a vacant property. And you believe that as a real estate professional, staging said property would actually be in their best interest. That's to set the stage. And the seller says, I don't want to go through the hassle of staging and waste all my time. Just put the thing on the market and let's go.
You know, Jason, I think we should just put it on the market and let's go. Can I tell you the only problem with that?
Sure.
Great. I know that you're trying to get every last penny out of this property that we can possibly get out of it. And right now, buyers have been watching those HGTV shows for so many episodes. They think every house should be perfect and look amazing when they walk in the door. They have no imagination anymore. And we just have to show them the house the way it will be when they're willing to pay the most possible money. So all we have to do is we have a great staging service. They're going to come through. They're going to look at the house. We're going to figure out what to put in the house. We're going to buy what we need to buy. We're going to lease what we need to lease. We're going to get the house ready so that it shows for top dollar. We're going to get you top dollar, and you're not going to have to do any of the work, but I'm going to put more money in your pocket. Won't that be great?
That'll be great. There it is. 55 seconds of magic. Aubrey, you heard it. You had plenty of time to think about what you're going to say. I don't want to waste my time with the staging. I don't want the extra expense. Let's just go. Just put the darn thing on the market.
Jason, listen, I can appreciate that. And in this market, truly staging may not even be necessary. And yet, I would never ask you to do something you don't need to do, because finding out what's important to you, Jason, is important to me. So here's what I want to do. Options are a great thing. Let's come out. Let me run two different numbers. Let's see what the market is telling us about staging. And if in the end it tells us we should stage the property, it brings on average 3% more money. And on your $400,000 house, that's 12 more grand in your pocket. I want that for you. And I know you want that too, right?
Yeah, maybe, I guess.
Well, if we take the weight off your shoulders, we do it for you, and you're able to net more money, and the market's telling us to do that, would that be the smart decision?
Sounds like it might be, yes.
Let's look at the options and let the market determine what we need to do. And whichever one it is for you, Jason, I'm with you in this 100%. All right?
There it is. Count it in the books. Yeah. I'm going to leave voting open a touch longer on this one because both of those answers were so good. All right. Go and vote right now. All right. Now, Ron, take me back. When did you get into real estate?
1984.
1984, by the way.
Hair.
Aubrey, what year were you born?
80.
Okay, just setting the stage on that. So, Ron, go back. You've watched the markets come and go. You've watched teams come and go. You've watched the celebrity realtor come and go. You've seen every market cycle that there is. I'm asking because you're a mentor to me here. Give me the one thing that if someone would have told you in 1984, you would have done differently in your real estate career, so I don't have to spend the next 40 years figuring it out.
You know, honestly, in all of it, I mean, obviously it's just learn, grow, keep, never stop, never, ever quit. I honestly, the hundreds of people I've seen come and go in real estate, thousands of people, the only difference is I was just too dumb to quit, right? Like no matter how miserable it got, I just kept going. And I think that that's really what gave me everything. And then just get good at one thing. Is it going to be lead gen? Is it going to be follow-up? Is it going to be being on a team and growing a team and helping someone else grow a team together? Just figure out one place where you're amazing and then stay in that world. And just, Mark King keeps saying that over and over again, right? Grow where you're planted. And I've seen an agent is good. They sell a couple of houses and now they decide that they should be the manager of the office, or they should. No, stay there and kick some butt for a while until you really internalize it and become great at it. and then move forward. And I just see people, they want to be the leader of the team, after 1 year. It's like, well, maybe you have to be, on the team learning everything for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. What's the difference? You're getting vastly overpaid almost the whole time anyways. Stay in the game and just get better at it.
I love it, man. You're an overnight success that's taken 36 years to make. And you're an inspiration to all of us. And on behalf of all of KW and KWRI, I want to thank you for what you do for real estate and for real estate agents. We're really grateful. Aubrey, you talk to new agents every single day. And I love that about you. What are you telling them? What's the key in your estimation? If you were counseling some of us that maybe aren't getting everything that we want out of the industry right now, what would you tell us?
Yeah, great question, Jason. So most agents, particularly the ones getting started, I found don't have clarity on what they need to do and how to get there. What's the most common number most new agents say they want to make in this business?
100 grand.
100 grand, right? And the reality of it is it doesn't take many houses to do that. And yet why do 80% of the agents who get in the business, NAR stats, get out in 2 years?
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
They don't have a plan. They don't have clarity. Bold teaches us clarity is power. They need that plan. So I would encourage everybody that gets in, sit down, have a mentor, have a day-to-day schedule, have a GPS 411, and make your schedule match your goals.
Fantastic. Gentlemen, thank you again so much for everything you're doing for everybody. The voting is in. There can be only one. This is the worst part of this. There can be only one, and both of you did fantastic. I wish you were both moving on. By the way, stay put, because after this announcement, I'm going to ask you to vote again. And here's the twist. We're going to ask you to go to vote again on what we call voters' favorites. And voters' favorites is going to be of all of the other contestants that competed today that didn't win, you get to pick one that's going to jump and advance. This is to say that where there used to be only one, there will now actually be two, and you, the voter, is in charge. As far as this is concerned, going down in history, Aubrey, congratulations. You're the champion today. You've been voted on by your peers.
Yes.
Nice. Fantastic. Congratulations. Now, nobody tune out, because we need you voting right now on your viewers' favorites. The voting is open. Go vote, please. Now, here's the thing. It's massively important that we give a debt of gratitude and thanks to all of the people that are competing. But here's the thing. There's a lot of folks that are competing every single day that don't end up on TV here at KWRI. These are the director of first impressions in your offices. These are the MCAs. These are the operating principals. These are the team leaders. These are the PC coaches. These are the market center tech trainers. These are the regional tech trainers. These are the RDs. These are the ROMs. These are all of the people that wake up every day and they're mission driven to help you live the biggest life you want, but that only happens if you build the biggest business that you could possibly have to fund it. There's 350 humans here at KWRI that wake up every day with a fire in their belly to help you succeed. And yeah, some days we get it right. And some days we get it wrong and we make it harder. And please know that on those days we lay awake at night and we can't wait for 8 a.m. to happen so we get a chance to fix it. And here's my ask. If you're a real estate agent today and you got something out of this, then by all means, go tell that person. Go find that team leader, go find that OP, go find that RTT, go find somebody and tell them thank you. Remember, gratitude is the #1 way to stay engaged and motivated in a business. Now, why is it so important? It's because this thing is hard. This business of ours, where we wake up every day trying to find people that allow us to serve us, isn't easy. But doing it every day is what allows us to live this big life. If you're sitting there right now and you're not thrilled with the compensation that you're getting from your business, I'd like to submit to you that there are 4 things that actually, when added together, equal that compensation. #1 is the need for your service. And let us never forget that the supermajority of people out there that want to live in houses need your service. #2, it's how well you perform it. This goes directly to your value proposition, but no one knows your value proposition if you don't become a master at telling them about it, which is what you saw today. #3 is going to be the difficulty in replacing you. Remember, compensation is in direct relation to how many people can do what you do as well as you can, which is why the folks that you saw here today are so successful. They bring such an abnormally high level of value, very difficult to replace any of them in your life. And then the last one, how many people you get to serve. Remember, service only happens when you actually raise your hand and ask to help someone. This is why when you walk into a restaurant, someone says, "May I help you?" When you walk into a mall, someone comes up and says, "What are you here for? Can I help you find it?" If you are a secret agent, I promise you, you're the only one that knows how exceptional you are. We call it lead generation historically, but I simply would like you to start calling it loving people. You see, if you had this amazing power by which to help people make better financial decisions, setting up their life so that they could live a bigger life and a happier life with their family, and you didn't go out and try to find people to help, what would that say? You see, if you put it into the positive and say, I wake up every day and I search the world for people whose lives I can impact in a positive way, that's called loving people. That's the essence of Keller Williams. So the voting is in. You see all the faces. Everybody did awesome. I got to tell you, this is a neat new twist. The problem on this is, again, only one of this group can win. And so everybody please congratulate Elizabeth, because she was voter's choice. She's going. Elizabeth, you and Aubrey, you are heading to Mega Camp on the main stage to compete against a bunch of others and see Cody Gibson. He'll be there waiting for you. All right, friends, we made it. This was a capacity crowd. We were in over 50 different countries. For the millions in attendance, that we may have went a little large on that number, we thank each and every one of you. If you didn't think that everyone knew who the best conversationalists were prior to this episode, you now know full well why we call it the Clash of Closers. A giant thank you to everybody that competed. An even bigger thank you to everybody that voted. Friends, this is the road to Mega Camp. Get excited, because we are about to have a party here in Austin, the likes of which the world hasn't seen since 2019. Get ready to throw it off. We'll see you back at Mega Camp. Thanks for tuning in.